Yeah, it's exciting. Matt and I used to train together, so sure he knows exactly what I'm gonna do, and I know what he's gonna do. So it's gonna be fun, man. He's a tough, durable guy, man. So going out there and probably giving everyone what they want to see, two guys standing for the knockout.
So this time around, I feel like Max is not going to be able to take me down. That's already in my head. It's impossible. If he does, he's not strong enough to hold me down, and there's no way he's running out a 5-round Eddie Alvarez decision on me. So I'm excited to go out there and show the world what I can do. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my decision to make this a title fight, So I was at my house. It's Merry Christmas to me. Thank you. This is a good early Christmas gift to myself. But for me, it's a guaranteed shot. You never know, because in the UFC, they can say you win your next fight, you get a title shot, then you won't see one for 2 years. So this right here is a guaranteed shot at what my goal is to accomplish, a 2 division weight champion.
I don't care for him. I don't care for his personality. Even when I talked to him, I didn't really want to talk to him about just being cordial. So, yeah, I don't have any good feelings towards him at all. I don't like the way he acts. I don't like the way he carries himself, and I don't like the way he represents the sport. He wants to be an alpha male, and he really wants to portray as he's something special. And I think it's all these yes men he's got around him. I think he's just being lied to by them, telling oh, Donald, you're the champion, man. You're so good, and you're so great. You're going to be this and that. And really, it's just, he's just being lied to. You know what I mean? So, it's my job to come in there and expose that truth out of him.
Oh man, I add stuff every damn fight. Go watch every single fight. The thing with Max Holloway, I grow every single fight. You guys can go watch the tape. Watch the fight from Jeremy to Oliveira to Jeremy to what's his name, Lamis, the Cup fight. Watch all those fights. I grow. I show something more better. And my plan in there is to finish you. If I don't finish you, I'm making you guys right the next day and be like, holy shit, why is this guy in with Max Holloway and who's next? So that's what I've been saying. This whole camp, everybody's gonna have someone who's next. It's just time to. We came to that point where you guys just need to all agree and be like, Max is the freaking man. He's the best guy on planet Earth. So that's the time that we're here now.
Ariel Helwani here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, alongside Donald Cerrone, Jordan Meehan, Kelvin Gastelum, Tim Kennedy, Groovy Lando Venata, Matt Brown, Emil Meck.
I probably got 3 or 4 years left in the sport. So my main concern is what's after healthcare, some kind of pension and some kind of retirement. Those are like what I'm searching for, and those are the things that I stand proud behind. I'm not part of an association because, first of all, I'm not even part of an association. I didn't sign anything. That was kind of Tim and George called me, and.
Didn't have you sign anything there?
No, I didn't sign anything.
But would you?
So I didn't know Bjorn was part of this whole thing, and I told Tim that, and so there's.
After the fact?
Well, when I got there.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I had no idea. I should have researched it. I'm a fucking idiot and just jumped in like I do everything head first. So.
Considering what's happened in your last couple fights, do you feel like this is just what the doctor ordered for you, like a fight that you can really get up for? Like, I don't know if you have those kind of feelings towards Safadine, but this is a big time fight on a card that needed a big fight. Is this perfect for you as far as getting back on track?
I'm not sure if it's much of a difference. I don't really look at my past really at all, to be honest. You know what I mean? So I kind of I look at this is my first fight and this is my last fight. So I got to take each fight individually. And I made the mistake of not doing that before, so now, I think I've learned from those mistakes. They say you learn more from your losses, so I've had enough losses that I should be pretty fucking smart by now.
Is this true? Is this your first real training camp of your career, or maybe in the last few years?
Yeah, I haven't had a real training camp and actually fought since August 2014.
Wow, what's it feel like?
Oh, it's great. I'm not stressed. I'm not worried about my weight. I'm not worried about my cardio. I've had time to prepare for the opponent. Fucking feel good.
So this has to be probably, I know it's a short one, but one of the more stressful camps of your life, right?
For sure. It's been the most stressful period of my life, period.
Right.
What happened in New York didn't just affect my work life. It didn't just affect my reputation. It affected a lot of aspects of my life, my personal life, my relationship with people in my personal life. It's just been a big headache, man. Wow. And it's been rough to get to this point. Obviously, I had to battle through getting the suspension lifted, and my management team deserves all the credit. Ali and his management team, they fought hard and to get that suspension lifted. So I'm just happy to be competing, man.
What's been the reception like after last week? Here you are, Fight Week, a part of the UFC machine. Yeah. Have you felt any different?
No, the UFC's been awesome.
Okay. No issues at all?
None whatsoever. Strictly professional, on point, up on the operations side, taking care of me and everything that I need, my team, even going above and beyond, logistically, picking up. I had some guys coming in that like official corners, but they like help them, in transportation from there. I mean, just nonstop, like a good promotion should. So they've been very helpful. Like the most humbling thing has been the feedback from the fighters.
Yeah.
Everybody here, has talked to me. Every single fighter, and we got to fight Saturday night. So it's like nothing's changed from conversations I've been having with hundreds of other fighters, which is, man, we just got to wait a week, and then we'll kind of move forward, and you're going to hear a lot more from me and from George and from Kane and from TJ after our fights, but we got to fight first.
When you initially announced that retirement, did you disappear? Like, did you want nothing to do with MMA? Did you not train anymore? What did you do?
No, that's the thing. I never stopped training, and I was like, oh, I can't. The retirement's just like, it's just not competing. Basically, I never left the gym. So, but yeah, I stayed in the gym. I started teaching more. I started teaching at my brother-in-law's gym. Him and my sister, Brittany Tavernini and Justin Tavernini, they opened up a gym. So I started teaching with them. They've had a gym for a while, but I jumped in on that and. Started teaching there and stayed in the gym. I never really left the gym. So my lifestyle really stayed the same, but just a different attitude, basically, just a mental attitude that I was in a bad place and getting out of that and feeling, a little bit more confident, a little bit more just clarity of my position that I'm in right now and how big of an opportunity this is. I know I've repeated this a few times, but that's how I feel.
When did you start to get the itch? How long ago? When did you start to recognize that this was something you wanted to do again?
Well, I don't think it never really went away for me. It never.
You said you thought you were done.
Yeah, I did. I didn't ever want to compete again, but the itch never goes away, and I don't think it ever does. Like, you'll see some people my dad's still fighting.
The guy's like 75 years old. He's got a broken arm. The guy's more active than you these days.
No, he really is. I'm just watching him fight. I'm like, holy, this is crazy.
I'm wondering, here's the big question. Will you be able to walk to the cage with the axe?
I don't think so.
Come on.
They wouldn't allow it in here.
You wanted to bring it?
Yeah, it's right outside.
They stopped you?
Yeah, they stopped me.
Why? What do they think you're going to do?
I have no idea. But maybe it's not Reebok branded or something.
What if you put a Reebok sticker on it?
I'll ask.
Yeah. So you actually brought it to the media day, and someone from the UFC said, thanks but no thanks.
Yep.
And did you ask them about fight night?
No. But I'll see if I can sneak it in the weigh-ins.
Is it a real axe?
It's blunted, but
it's what?
It's blunted.
What does that mean?
It's not sharp.
Okay.
But it's full metal and full wood.
And there you have it. Anthony Pettis weighs 148 pounds. A dejected Anthony Pettis storms off the scale, disappointed in the situation. He fails to make weight. He weighs in at 148 pounds. An unfortunate turn of events here in Toronto. Anthony Pettis, one half of Saturday night's main event. He does not make the weight. He weighs in at 148 pounds, 3 pounds over the official weight limit. And now the big question is, what happens to Max Holloway?
This fight right here was my career fight. If I lose this, I'm starting from the very bottom and working my way back to the UFC. So this was a blessing from above to say, hey, you deserve to be here. Let's buckle down and get on top of this and go for that championship fight.
And do you think that's going to be the $50,000 a night for you?
Dude, if that's not $50,000, that's the first time he's ever been knocked out in his whole entire career, and off a side kick to the leg to a spinning hook kick. Yeah, that's 50 G's.
Do you think that compares with Edson Barbosa's spinning back kick?
That tops it.
Tops it?
That tops it.
Absolutely.
Why does it top it?
Why not? That shit was beautiful.
Olivier, you mentioned, how are you, GSP earlier, and he's been in the news lately with this association.
Come on.
Why?
This guy.
Come on.
It's a great question.
Has he talked to you about it? Has he tried to get you on board?
No, because GSP is a smart man. He knew I was going to fight, so he didn't want me to focus on that. So I didn't focus on it. I saw it. I saw what happened, and for me personally, I'm really happy. I don't know how an athlete can be against it. If it's an association, and if it's there to for the athlete, I don't know how an athlete can go against it. But with that being said, I'm really happy to be with the UFC. I'm proud to be in the UFC, and for sure I think things could be better. But that's how I make a living right now. So I'm all. I'm for the association, but again, I think everybody should be in the association, especially if, let's say, I don't want to say that the world, but like something happened, maybe you can vote for, you know what I mean? So even if you're against it, I think you should be in it.
You know, in my whole entire career, I'm 13-2 now. Nobody marked me before, you know, and I knew going with him, I thought I'm going to be covered in blood. I was ready for war. And being able to take a guy like that in a first round, I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very, very happy that every little thing that I worked on, it worked out. You know, I didn't go right away after him because I knew he's going to come out hard. So I just, make him think that we're going to kick each other a little bit. And then whenever I seen the opportunity, I've been working on my boxing so much, and I box with pro guys, heavyweight, light heavyweight, any kind of any weight, I box with really high level guys. And I know I'm not, everyone knows me as a grappler, but you have to watch out my hands now, if I touch you, I drop Nikita, and then if they get dropped and I see them on the ground, it's kind of like, that's my world now,
Emil, you said that you deserve, and congratulations.
Thanks, buddy.
You deserved a lot of respect and credit for taking this fight. He's a big name opponent. You had a big win getting into the UFC, but when you were in there, massive crowd, you're facing Jordan Mean. What's going through your mind? Did you feel a little more nervous?
I was nervous for sure. But nervous is good. Nervous makes you stronger and sharper, and it's supposed to be like that. When I woke up this morning, I had the jitters all over me. I was scared. I was terrified. I was happy. I was sad. Everything. And then as you warm up and as you enter here, it just feels amazing. And you never really know if what you have is good enough until you face your opponent. Until the first punches, until you feel it lands, until you land on him. And then you understand what kind of game you're playing. And my game was strong enough.
I think if I'm offered a fight that interests me at 185s, then I don't see why I wouldn't stay here, But I think my 170s is my optimal weight class. I took this fight as a favor for the UFC. I knew they needed a replacement for Rashad Evans, so I stepped in, and I heard they need another replacement in Brazil with Vitor Belfort. So if they want to make that happen, then I'm.
So that's the fight that would interest you?
I'm willing to step up and do that as well. I feel like the 170s is my optimal weight class. My height and my reach is at a disadvantage at 185s. These guys are over 6 feet tall and have a major height and reach advantage over me. So I feel like 170s is where my body type fits best.
But even all that stress that you put on your body, is it worth it?
No, but again, I get too heavy outside of camp, and that's my problem. I like to eat my Mexican food, and it shouldn't be that way. My whole camp is concentrated on losing the weight that I gained outside camp. So it just shouldn't be that way. I was able to get away with it the last few fights, but the older I get, the harder it is to cut the weight, and I think if I change my lifestyle up a bit and create a better lifestyle where I'm at a better weight outside of training camp, I think it'll be a better fit.
It was a little overwhelming. It's just I didn't get hurt that bad. My head's clear, but it was just so chaotic. I don't really remember the fight. So everybody's just saying how great of a fight it was, and I was like, well, I guess it was if you guys keep saying it. Well, yeah, I'm happy for that because at this point in my career, it's like, why am I still doing this? I don't want to be declining in my performances. I feel like if I start declining my performances, then I shouldn't do it anymore. But I feel like after 13 years, I've been doing everything possible to get better, be better. My last 2 fights before this one, I had a specific game plan to, the things that Frankie Edgar exposed to me, I fixed, and I showed that. And then this fight, was another fight that made me think about my Max Holloway fight, that loss. So, I was challenging myself a lot in there, and being able to showcase my skills once again and be a better version of myself, just makes me happy.
Your striking once again looked, even better than the fight before and the fight before that. How much of that do you owe to Brandon Gibson and the work he's done with you?
Oh, definitely, man. Brandon and I have been working together. A lot of credit to what's going on there. My head movement, though, didn't look too good, did it? Damn, I took a lot of punches, I think, a lot of unanswered ones. But, hey, you got to dig deep sometimes. That's what I love the most about the sport is when you're up against a vent taking the hard punches and you got to deep all the way down and be like, yeah, man, fuck it, let's go.
Was the fight tougher than you expected it to be?
Way tougher. You hit a lot harder, and it was a lot more durable than I expected him to be.
Oh, man. You guys see me fall around outside the cage? Oh, that's some funny-ass shit. But, man, it was 100 times better, man. I'm stood on, I don't know what cloud you'd call this, 17 or something, But it's been a hell of a ride, man. And we're just getting started, man. Tune in, man. Tune in. This is just the beginning. I said it in there in February, and then when everything was slowing down, I was in the back. I was thinking of, I already had to give up Thanksgiving for this fight. I had to give up my birthday. And, and it's hard to find the guy, like I said, hashtag Jose, where's Jose Waldo? And let me know when you find him, teamwork is the dream work, if more of us is looking for him, we're gonna find him together. But we see what happens. I don't know. I don't want to give up my son's birthday and Christmas for February 11th, and he don't show up. This guy has an act for not showing up to the fight. So we see what happens. Maybe I gotta talk to Dana White first, man. I got a brunch that I want to do. Sit down with him and Sean Selby, and we can talk. We can talk some business.
Now that you're the interim champion, are you willing, in the worst case scenario where Aldo is for some reason unable to defend over the next 6 months or something, will you entertain an interim title defense?
Of course. I'm the best man alive. Like I said, everybody always give me shit. Like, oh, why you wanted to fight Aldo? Why you not calling out Conor? It's like, look, Conor's booked. Why I'm going to call out a guy who's already have a fight? I was looking out for Aldo. I thought he wanted to fight, and this guy is saying he's the best in the world. Come and prove it. I don't believe in guys waiting for title shots. That means you fucking pussy. You don't believe that you're the best guy in the world, I believe I'm the best damn guy in the world. If I got to defend this thing 10 times before I get the undisputed thing, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to prove to you guys, prove to myself, and prove to everyone that I'm the best motherfucker walking on 2 feet. And you guys are all going to witness it. This is the Bless show now, I'm taking over.
All right, that does it. Back in the day, Dana White would show up to these press conferences and tell us, don't judge a card before it actually happens. And he wasn't here today, but I have a feeling that he was saying that to someone next to him because this card, as I mentioned, criticized, much maligned, but in the end, certainly delivered. And you know who else delivered? The Canadian fans. This crowd, this city, this country, they used to be called, the Mecca of mixed martial arts, and they have been ignored for quite some time, and stars have come and gone, but they certainly showed up, and I think they sent a message to the UFC that they're going to show up, but they want big fights as well. And this is what happens when the UFC comes to town. So great stuff, the city of Toronto. All right, we are done. Fantastic card. Congratulations to Max Holloway on winning that interim featherweight title. Thank you so much for watching our coverage all week long. Again, thank you so much for watching. For Chuck, Casey, Esther, I'm Ariel. Good night from Toronto.
Thank you very much.